What's up, people? This is your boy Leveled Head. We will be starting here shortly. Just stay tuned as we get things set up on our end. Till then, deuces. to get live. We keep it pretty level, no surprise. Come and listen to the topics busted. Then check out our discussion. Keith Norris and D2K. K-Bum20 on the MIC. Jet I night all the way in Germany. Leveled head, you know who that boy be. What it say? Live and level, live and level. We on that MIC. Live and level, live and level. We just talking them games. Live and level, live and level. Take a seat and listen up, man. Live and level, live and level. What's up, people? This is your boy Levelhead back with another Live and Level Gamers podcast. I am in this room by my lonesome at the moment, but we have D2K figuring some things out on his end, and Keith Norris should be on soon. Hopefully Jedi Knight. I know K-Bum will not be in, but we're going to do this thing because it is the new year. We haven't been on here, so we're just happy to be back. So what's up, folks? Put your hands together. Let them know that we are in here. I see two people already here with me. I see we got Zim on the line with us. And we got TS Nintendo Gamer. What's up, folks? It is 2020. It's been a while since your boy been on here, man, with the NFL playoffs going on. Everything happening so far in the year. We just haven't had a chance to get up here. Matter of fact, I'm pushing it just to do this for you guys today. Because I got another event I got to go to here at 6 o'clock, so I can't even be on here long. Jedi Knight, D2K is working out some mic issues on his end, so he should be here. Hopefully he get that worked out to where he can jump in. And then Keith Norris, he had to do something, but he should jump in as well. Okay, hold up. So, we're here to do this. I'm by my lonesome, man. It's a new year. We got a few topics set up for you guys. If you're in the live chat, let me know. I see two already have, and I gave them the shout out. But if you're in the live chat, let me know. If you're listening, let me know. And I would definitely call you out. It's been a good year so far, folks. Went and saw Bad Boys for Life last night with the wife. I totally enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. I liked it better than the second one, actually. Real good. I haven't been doing a whole bunch of gaming this year. I am trying to finish that Luigi's Mansion. I just got the 14th level, the button to the level and everything. I don't know if you ever played that game or not. If y'all listening and haven't played it, you know you got a button, the elevator button. They all been taken away, and you got to discover each button and find each ghost that's holding these buttons, these bosses. And I just got the 14th button to go to the 14th level, and I think it's only one level after that, so I'm close to the end. I've been taking my time with this game. I'm enjoying it. What else have I been doing, man? I've been watching movies. I just got done watching Joker a few days ago. I watched The Witcher all the way through. Man, I've been doing a whole lot of stuff, but it's been a good year so far. 2020 has been what it is. Gaming, as far as gaming goes, there ain't been much going on with gaming. There's a lot that we're going to talk about here today. But I'm looking forward to this year. And in live chat, let me know what y'all looking forward to this year. Yo, Sims in. yo, what's good, my team? Anyway, it's just been a good year. Just excited for what's going to take place. We got 2 new systems coming this year. Right now, I'm watching my Kansas City try to put these Tennessee Titans down. But, we got 2 new systems coming this year with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. So we're going to talk about the situation around Sony skipping out on E3. Also, my boy K-Bum put up in a Google Hangout, man, he was showing us how Call of Duty has dominated, this decade. Like, Call of Duty is literally like 8 of the top 10 most selling titles this decade. And that's amazing. Like, we're going to talk about that situation and how, third party and how important third party is, how important this particular title is. We're going to deal with the topic of, dealing with exclusives. Is exclusives the thing that these companies need to be looking at, or is third party still the way to go for Sony and Microsoft? Now Nintendo trying to get their third party on. is it exclusive? You know, Nintendo already been dominating the third party. Sony is getting their first party gaming up. Nintendo has been dominating first party. Sony is getting their first party up, and Microsoft is trying to enter into having some actual compelling first party offerings. So they buying a whole bunch of studios, bringing them in house. We got all that going on. So what else is going on, man? I got a lot of topics up here, but since I'm here on my own, this is abnormal because I like to feed off of other individuals, but I'm by myself and I don't have much time, folks. So I got to carry the thing by myself for right now. But anyway, so let's get into this first topic. Should Sony skip E3 2020? Now, you know, it was rumored, and I think it's been confirmed that Sony will not be participating in E3 2020. Sony is going to skip E3 2020. It's the second year that Sony has skipped E3. Now, my boy D2K has said that the last time we seen Sony at E3, it was so bad they should skip it. But last year they skipped out, and we understood why Sony was skipping out last year. They didn't have anything. You know, they was in. We knew they was about to transition to a new system, which is the PlayStation 5. We were just waiting on them to announce when it was coming, the year was coming, everything, and that has been announced. We know that the PlayStation 5 is coming at the end of this year. We know that the Xbox Series X is coming at the end of this year. So it is very striking and puzzling, not puzzling, but striking, and it's different that Sony, with their new system coming out, still has decided that they are not going to go to E3 this year. Now, my thought is, I look at what Nintendo has done. Nintendo, far as they have been at E3, but they haven't done a live press conference at E3 probably for the last at least 4 to 5 E3 events. I know for at least 4. They haven't. None of the Switch has yet to be done. There's yet to be a presentation on the E3 floor for the Switch yet, and the Switch is 3 years old. So, and I think they skipped out on E3 prior to that. So I'm looking at least 5 years they haven't been a part of E3 as far as the big stage announcements. But they've been there on the show floor so you can come play the games and all that stuff. So with Sony totally stepping out, Nintendo only there. When you hear me step back, I'm trying to see the screen and see what the score is. Yeah, I'm watching the game at the same time. I'm trying to do all this all at once for you guys. I don't know how this is going to be, but I'm giving it to you the best I can. With Sony stepping out totally and Nintendo stepping out partially, like they not hitting the live stage, but they are there on hand for you to play the games. The question I have is, are we seeing the final nails in the coffin for E3? Now, I was interested to see what D2K was going to say, because D2K texted me and said that he believed that E3 is still a relevant show, and but he had to explain that for himself. So hopefully he get his mic right. I'm on the fence with it though. I'm on the fence because personally I look forward to E3 as a gamer. I look forward to E3. I look forward to seeing all the glitz and glamour, all the new titles, all the new hardware, all the new tech that these gaming companies are bringing. I want to see what EA doing. Yeah, I can't stand EA. I can't stand EA at all. But I want to see what they bring, and I do want to see what Madden is going to look like and all they stuff that they talk about, and they development software and all that stuff. I want to see it, even though every time they put a game out, for the most part, it craps the bed. But at the same time, I want to see Madden. I want to see what was the other one they put out? I can't think of that one because it failed. Most Mass Effect and all the other stuff that they got. I want to see the stuff. What was that last game that they had that failed? That was supposed to replace Mass Effect. It's doggone. It done skipped my head. Anyway, I want to see it. I can look it up. I want to see it. But, I mean, it's been such a fail the last few years. My anticipation for E3 ain't like it used to be. I used to take off for E3. I used to literally take off work for E3. I used to take off a couple of days, especially for Nintendo. I used to take off and I wanted to see, I wanted to have ample opportunity I don't know why my phone acting up. I wanted to have ample opportunity to watch all that was going to be showcased and announced at these press conferences. But the last few years ain't been that good. It hasn't. It hasn't been that good. And I'm curious if we get to the point that there's no point. You know, they got CES, they got PAX, all these shows are also doing it. Now we don't get access like we do with E3. We're not brought in and it's just televised everywhere and you know, doing live events like that. But at the same time, we getting our scratch all year round. You got Sony with the PlayStation experience, and you got Sony also with State of Play. You got Nintendo with their Nintendo Directs and all this type of stuff. And we get in these events throughout the year rather than having to wait to E3. Plus, you got YouTube and you got the leaks. Microsoft did their big thing at the Gaming Awards at the end of the year last year. So all the spadaz around E3 is kind of being sucked away somewhat. That's what I would say. It's kind of been, it's been deflated of its relevance, of its importance. I'm not saying I don't look forward to it, but I don't take off for it no more. Like I said, Sony wasn't there last year. Nintendo, I wasn't blown away by when Nintendo showed last year. It was good, it was cool. But Nintendo giving us directs all the year, that to me outdo what they do at E3. They directs throughout the year. We know now that with Nintendo, the E3 direct ain't even the best one. No, normally the best direct comes a few weeks to months after the E3. So I don't know, man. I don't know. And with Sony stepping out, I think they're saying we have found another way. Now we got to give credit where credit is due, in my opinion. Nintendo said that a while ago, that we don't have to hit that big stage. We don't, because everybody thought they was crazy. I remember Shokio making a video talking about how Nintendo is making a bad move and you're supposed to hit the conference. This is what we look for. This is our Super Bowl. This is our, all these different things, right? But it hasn't hurt Nintendo, right? It hasn't. Nintendo, since that moment, the Switch has been successful. They still steady selling their games. They still doing what they doing. And the Switch was never announced at an E3. It was done at the top of the year, I think in 2017, if I'm not mistaken, or 18, one of the years. They did it then, and we got the announcement. We got hyped for it. I think it was 2018. We got hyped for it. We got excited for it, and it is what it is. They never brought it to the E3 stage. It didn't hurt it. It didn't hurt its sales. It didn't hamper the sales. And I think Sony and Microsoft, for that matter, I'm pretty sure Microsoft will be there on hand with whatever they're announcing at E3. They have the stage to themselves to bring out the Xbox One Series X. They have the spotlight to themselves because Sony won't be there. But the question is, do Sony need to be there? And I'm going to say, me in my opinion, being here by myself, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no, they don't have to be there. They don't, it's not a must. It's not as important anymore, folks. It's the way information is getting to people. We have it all day, every day. We get everything we want to get. Anything you want to find out is already hitting YouTube. It's already hitting Twitter. It's already hitting. They already talking about it on Twitch. They getting so much coverage. They don't have to spend all that money to put this prop up, to make all the stage props and all the different things that they got to do to make that what it is, and then get all they wording together, get all they speakers together, and everybody work that out and work all the kinks out with the hardware, and making sure they ain't having interference with other stuff, that they don't have no malfunction live on the stage. All this stuff is money and time and energy, and people got to be on hand, and I'm pretty sure they spending millions for that hour. Or that hour and 30 minutes of fumbling and bumbling, and half of the stuff is going to go in one ear and out the other. And if they don't have an exciting game, if they don't bring the stuff we was hoping for and don't live up to our expectations, the millions that they spent on that hour and 30 minutes could be a waste, because we could say Sony was trash and they lost E3 and all they leave out and that's all they get. They won or they was trash. Why subject yourself to the criticism of fans who most of the time are hard to please? Why do that when you can have a state of play and just announce some stuff and then have another one and announce some stuff and you saving millions and the same information is getting to the people that mostly gonna tune in is getting there anyway. So I don't know, man. I know this is a hot topic right now. I know that people are up in arms because they beloved E3 has been shortchanged by Sony not coming. He said, "I'm here." Are you here? Go ahead and talk if you're here. He said, "I'm here, I hope." I'm just rambling on to somebody jump on here with me. But yeah, so I think Sony is looking at it like, look, I can save that money. I can put that money somewhere else. I can put that money into a game. I can put that money into my wallet. I can put it into my bank. I don't know, but they like, I don't need this stage anymore. I'm not saying that E3 is dead. I don't know what E3 is because I believe the fans still love E3. We still look forward to E3, but I don't believe we treat E3 like we used to. I don't get as excited for E3 like I used to. I don't take off work to ensure that I'm able to witness everything E3 has to offer from all these companies. I love when Tuesday came and I knew Nintendo was and I was about to see Nintendo new stuff and they finna lay out the year and I'm excited, but I was also there for Sony. I was also there for Microsoft on Monday. Microsoft came earlier in the day. I remember they used to be on, what's the show? Spike TV. I used to look forward to that stuff. And then Sony come later on that night, looking forward to all that. But now, these companies like, look, I can do all this on my own stage. E3, EA don't even come to where E3 is. They just host it and show all their stuff during the weekend of E3. They do it that Saturday prior to the events of E3 in their own spot that they got. Activision, I don't even know if I don't know how often they show it, but it's another. Microsoft doesn't do it. They bought their own studio and they host their stuff there. So everybody is seeing how, man, look, we can do this ourselves. We can cut this middleman out. We can save this money. And I think as companies like Nintendo, Nintendo, Sony, EA, and I believe more are gonna start following that tune, man, and just be like, look, man, we can do something else. We can host our own event and we can have a day to ourselves. I want to hear what D2K got to say. I hope he get in here. Let me make sure I got everything set up to where when they jump on, he's able to. Hold on, I'm gonna go back. Let me see. Hey, he shouldn't be. So he here. Can you see me in the voice chat? Yes, I can, my brother. I see you here. I just can't hear you. I see you here. I see K-Bum here. He ain't talking, but I see him here. Anyway, I see you. I just don't hear you. So, yeah, man. I'm to me, E3 is not as important as it used to be. E3 is not as vital to the success of these companies as it used to be. E3 has lost some of its fervor, some of its strength, some of its appeal. I think there's other ways to get the information out that's more lucrative and more financially beneficial. And I think Sony like, look, man, we found another way. It worked. We took a gamble. We took a risk. We ain't Nintendo. Sometimes the Sony take a risk might be a bigger risk than Nintendo, even though Nintendo took it first. Sony being Sony, having the market shares, the mind shares like it do, it could probably be a big risk for them to let Microsoft have. Right. Yes. Hold up. Yes, I am. I'm currently talking live. They can hear you talking. So, yeah. So they, yes, people. I'm live. I'm doing this right now. But yeah, they like, look, man. We worked. We took a gamble. We took a risk. We cut ourselves totally from E3. We didn't. Not only did they not show up to the stage, they didn't show up at all. Now that was risky. They did it in the year that it didn't matter. They ain't have much, and they had already sold what they was gonna sell. But to turn around the following year and say we not coming again, that's big. That's like, whoa. Okay, Sony. Oh, I hear you. There you go, D2. I can hear you. I hear you popping your mic anyway. Hello? Okay. So, to me, Sony has realized this is not going to hurt them. This is not going to affect them in the slightest. And they're like, man, look, we done it last year. We could do it again. I remember that year Nintendo just had Zelda. Like, we bragged and we made it such a big thing, man. What other company could come with one game and make it happen? Maybe it's the fact that E3 ain't as important as we the gamers make it. I can hear you if you I can hear your mic popping if you talk on it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
All right, here we go.
Yes, finally. Yeah. Thank you. I want to hear your points because I was like, Lord, somebody come in and save this boy. Anyway, to me personally, I feel like Sony is like, we took the gamble last year. We didn't show up at all, right? We didn't show up. And, you know, like I'm going to make the point again I made so you can hear what I said, D2. Now, we know. Okay, so yeah, Nintendo done it first. Yeah, but I don't believe Nintendo's mind shares at that time ain't Sony. Sony literally had, we was talking about this yesterday in the Hangout, Sony has the mind shares. Sony has, you know, when it comes to gaming, you think Sony first. Right now, for most, they're going to say Sony, PlayStation. Now, not to say that they won't say Nintendo and Microsoft, but we know for sure they're going to say Sony. And for Sony not to...
It's like back in the day when somebody would say, you have a Nintendo, they knew what you were talking about.
Right.
It wasn't like they were referring to a specific game console. People thought video game, they just said, oh, you got a Nintendo.
Right. And that's what PlayStation has become now. When you say PlayStation, they could be talking about the Nintendo, but they still say PlayStation. Right. I remember, now I'm going into my church, some preachers will be up and be like, you got their Nintendos in the house? And they, you know, I'm like, man, there ain't nobody. I'm like, you don't know nothing. Stop it. Anyway, so, but with Sony doing it, I think at the time that they did it, being the big dog, the most successful, selling as many consoles that they had sold, to skip totally out, not to even have anything on the show floor, was a gamble. I think it was risky. But I think they took that gamble and saw the number. I think they looked at the numbers and saw it didn't hurt them, and they probably saved a lot of money. And it's like, we could take this same money that we were spending putting into E3 and either do our own show or, you know, maybe put the energy in more state of plays and maybe one big blowout of the PlayStation 5 on their own stage and call it a day. But you said something, I want to get your thoughts. You know, is it, you know, I can ask a question now since I ain't by myself no more. Should Sony skip E3? Go ahead.
It depends on what their game plan is. There are rumors that Sony's going to have a PlayStation Experience event next month. And if that's the case, then that could explain why they're not going to be at E3. They revealed the PlayStation 4 at their own event, which I think was around the same time. I think it was around February 2013. Uh-huh. So it would not be unprecedented for them to do that. The only difference between then and now is that in 2013, they revealed the PlayStation 4 and showed us a couple of tech demos and whatever. And then at E3, they gave us more information about the PlayStation 4, and it was more information about the games that are going to be coming to the PlayStation 4, what their plan was for the console going forward. So it wasn't just one event where you got everything. You got one focus on, this is what the console is, this is kind of power that it has, this is what it can do. And then the next event, which was E3, okay, and these are the type of games that you're going to be playing with that type of power, with that the type of functionality that being incorporated into this console. So you didn't have to jam pack everything into one event to where it becomes so convoluted that people are overwhelmed. Then you don't really focus on any one thing because it's being given so much information. It's like, oh wait a minute, what's the? What? It's kind of like the Star Wars movie. they packed so much stuff in that movie that you couldn't really
enjoy it. Yeah.
If there was something interesting, by the time you're like, well, wait a minute, and then moving on to the next topic. So
right,
that's the risk that you run when you do stuff like this, where you basically say we're just going to put out everything in one event. I'm not saying that's what Sony's going to do, but I think that, like you were just saying about the state of plays, if Sony is really serious about this, then they're going to have to ramp up their state of play big time. I mean, they've gotten better the last couple of episodes. That's what you could call them, I guess.
Yeah.
But they're going to have to get a little bit more refined to the Nintendo Direct level if that's the direction they're going to go. Because if that's their course of action, that we're going to reveal the PlayStation 5 at our own event where everything is controlled and everything is focused on us, and then during the course year, up until we release the PlayStation 5, we'll have state of plays that give you a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Okay, that works. If you're not going to do that, then you damn well better bring everything you got at this Sony experience next month. Because there's no way that you can sit up there and just show the PlayStation 5, give us a couple of quick tech demos, basically what Microsoft did at the Game Awards. Mm-hmm. You can't do that and walk off the stage and say we're good until November or whatever. Or maybe the Tokyo Game Show or whatever. That's not going to work. You've got to give us more information than that. Because I can guarantee you that Microsoft will be giving us all the information that we want to have. And I'm pretty sure that whatever Nintendo is doing, whatever that might be, we're going to get a lot of information from them as well. So you can't be so arrogant to think, man, they beating the brakes off the Titans.
Yeah, I'm leaning back. I'm trying to see past my studio booth. The TV is on the other side of my studio booth, and I can't, so I got to lean back to see the score. But yeah, they done got their footage. Go ahead. I'm ready. I'm just waiting for them to win. Be over. I'm just waiting for them to win, so I can call my boy and say, "Well, y'all put up a good fight."
Yeah, the Magic Carpet ride might be over, but back to what I was saying. I don't like the idea of them not showing up. To me, I said in the group chat that I think that it's more or less 2 years ago, Sony's E3 conference was a disaster. And it was a self-imposed disaster. Nobody told them to go out there and do what they did. But we live in a society where people don't believe that they should be responsible for the consequences of their actions. And you talk about that touchdown?
Yeah, man. That's deflating, but they threw a flag on it, though. Go ahead. They probably going to say it was a holding and clipping or something like that.
Yeah. But, so people's like, well, we can do stupid stuff. And it's a defensive flag?
Yeah, it was defensive flag. So that touchdown goes on the scoreboard.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, man. I'm distracted. Go ahead.
People feel like, well, we should be able to do stupid stuff. We shouldn't have to suffer the consequences for our actions. And that's kind of where Sony was. They put out a garbage show. And a lot of people, gave them the business about that, rightfully so. So instead of correcting the problem, they said, okay, let's change the narrative. Let's make E3 not seem like it's important anymore. Because, like you just said, Sony has the majority of the mind shares in the gaming industry right now. So if we say it's not important, then that means it's not important. Everyone else will follow our lead. And I think that's kind of what they're doing, because there's no reason for them not to. I mean, I hear what you were saying about the money and stuff like that, that they would have to spend. They're still going to have to spend money on their own event too.
Yeah. I was saying save it for those events,
right. And Sony's got the money. It's not that it's not as expensive as. I mean, it does cost a lot of money. It's not cheap, but this is what you get out of it. It can far outweigh what you spend into it, because now you got to take that money and break it up into chunks throughout the rest of the year to do the state of plays and stuff like that, because that stuff costs money too. It's not
Right.
simple. You got to get everything together, for those to look, because those could be just as disastrous as a bad E3 show if you don't do it right. Are you getting electrocuted or something?
No, my wire. My wire got crossed. Go ahead. My wire got crossed. That was my bad. Go ahead though.
Yeah, so like if they have a plan, then okay, we'll see. But if they don't have a plan, then I think this could be a mistake.
Welcome to the show, Dark Sun Rider. I mean, I'll say this, man.
Before you say that,
Go ahead.
So I'm getting kind of worried because they keep showing all these State Farm commercials with Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, and I don't know if that's a sign of things to come.
Well, they tried to do that one year with LeBron and Kobe, and that didn't happen. Remember all them years they had Kobe and LeBron as the dolls, talking about the playoffs and meeting each other in the playoffs, and then LeBron, I'm a fan of LeBron, he got bumped out, and that was the year the Celtics got there. No, that Magic got there with Dwight Howard. So I think they want that to happen, though. I think they want it to be a Patrick Mahomes, Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers Super Bowl.
Yeah,
like a passing of the torch type of situation. I think that's what they hope for.
Well, if that, and this is the 100th year in the NFL, and what better way to kick it off with the two teams that played in the first Super Bowl, the Packers and the Chiefs.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's information I didn't know.
Yeah, but
you might be on something too. You might be on something. But I'll say this, man, to keep things rolling, because I literally got to get off here at 5:30. So I got to be out by 5. I want to be out before then, but definitely by 5:30 so I can make it to this second event. I would say I feel you. I feel you that if they don't have anything ready to go and they're just gonna skip E3, that's gonna be a problem. But who really believe that's gonna take place? I know you don't believe that, even though you put it out there as a thought. I know you don't believe that Sony would just sit down on this year and just let word of mouth and suppose they're 100 million selling PlayStation 4 to carry them in.
Common sense says no, they wouldn't do that. But Sony, they have a history of being that arrogant.
Okay,
they do. They have an issue of being that arrogant. They said they could look and say we won the 8th generation by a landslide. Nobody can touch us. We can do what we want to do, and they could do something. I don't think they will. But if they do go that direction, I won't be surprised.
Well, how you get out the blocks, track and field, how you get out the block matter. And I think what made the PlayStation 4 successful was how they got out the block. Microsoft stumbled and just basically gave the 8th generation to Sony. How they came out the blocks with the price, with the what's the DRM? Is that what they call that? Where they can try to monitor, DRM and Sony, coming after them with their announcement at E3, and it was E3 that Sony kind of took. Basically, was like set themselves up to be the dominant company of 8th generation. It happened on the E3 stage when they came out and said, we are only going to charge you $399. They just absolutely undercut Microsoft, and Microsoft have been climbing out of that hole ever since. They never got out of it because of that one blunder.
And based off of what we just heard from Microsoft a week or so ago, I'm pretty sure Sony saw that and they said, they're not going to have any first-party games at launch, eh?
Yeah, that's what I forgot about that. I knew it was something I forgot about. We got to talk about that too. But, we got to talk about that because to me, that's another blunder of Microsoft. But you said something that you said something interesting about that, though. Go ahead and share what you said in the Hangout when they announced that. I don't know if you remember or not.
No, I don't remember.
You said it was stupid. And Microsoft was
everybody said it was stupid.
But you made a statement like this could pan out. No, maybe it wasn't you. Maybe somebody else I read that said this can pan out to where they come out with would hit after hit after hit after the year with exclusive, this could work. Me personally,
I think Keith said that, but
Wait,
he might have said
what?
that. But
that
I mean,
you hear Keith?
What's up?
What's up, man?
I'm here.
Everybody showing up. Oh, look at you.
I know you got to go. So hold on. Let's back it up. What was it?
We still talking about Sony and E3, and then we brought up Microsoft's talking about they're not going to have any first party offerings for the first, I guess, year of the Xbox Series X, which goes into our next topic: how important are exclusives? But we can give me your thoughts on Sony missing E3, and then we go into the next topic.
Man, Sony. Okay, so Nintendo sets trends. The gaming industry follows. So Sony does not need E3. Of course, we would love to see them at E3 because that's the expo that we wait on. But they don't necessarily need it. I don't, because they're gonna I think D2K said something about in the chat that they're gonna announce something sooner than E3. So which is great. We gotta wait, but it's not necessarily a necessity like it used to be. Like they can control their own form or media to reach out to us and do your thing. As long as we get the information, as long as the information is good, real, that's all I really care about. Because I'm not going to E3 anyway. So
that's the kind of what I was saying at the top. I was saying that my hype for E3 has dwindled gradually and really bad the last 2 years, but gradually for the last 4 or 5 years. Because at least I'll say 5 or 6. Because most of the time we leave disappointed.
We do leave disappointed, but this is an opportunity for those other developers if they're thinking okay, Nintendo doesn't really have a presence like they used to outside on the show floor. Well, I take it back on the showcase. Sony's saying, yo, we're done with it. Microsoft is still there. They come on Sundays or whatever. Mm-hmm. If I was a third party developer, I would show out. Yo, they're out of the way. This is our turn. Any developers, third party developers, show out. Show us the best of the best that you could do, and intentionally from the moment E3 ends to the next E3, man, have a game so incredible. Yo, this is why we still watch E3. You know what I mean? Yeah, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo may not be here, but we're still here, and we're gonna do our thing.
Somebody think you hard eight. No, man, that's
not insults here.
That's Keith Norris, man. That's brother Keith. He said it's that hard eight. Anyway, I would say not to stay on this topic too much longer. I would say yes, I agree that they could show out. But when you like I said earlier, when you got YouTube and you could just put a video up explaining your game and it's gonna get millions and millions of hits, and they can come back and watch that as much as they want to. Do I need to spend the money to be on hand at the place? For a handful of people to come and play the game. The expo is making money, but is Microsoft or Sony or Nintendo actually making money from that? Are they getting paid to be there? Or are they having to spend money to be on hand? So people, now it do generate hype. I remember when Nintendo used to have, and I'm using Nintendo because I remember a lot more about what Nintendo floor stuff was happening because I kept up with it. I remember they used to have folks wrapped around. That was one of the big talking points, how long the lines was at Nintendo stands. I remember when the one for Splatoon, the one for Breath of the Wild, the one for, I think it was Galaxy and the Wii. They say the lines were so long, they was kind of affecting the lines of other companies like, Sony and Microsoft. So I'm pretty sure stuff like that could be exciting and hyping, but at the same time, just going to YouTube can do the same thing, because we ain't gonna be there. We never really get a hands-on experience with it, so it don't really matter for millions upon millions of people. So I don't know. I guess it's however you look at it, but I'm with you, Keith. I don't think it's gonna hurt them at all, but I am also understanding. I agree with D2K. That they better not slack on what they do themselves and have to be arrogant enough to think that they don't have to do nothing. No, I hope they don't come like that. That'd be idiotic times 3. So that'd be
some I forgot about it. They do have to pay.
Idiotics. idiotic on Ultra Instinct. So go ahead. What'd you say?
Yeah, I forgot that they have to pay. So you might be on the money with that because it is a business at the end of the day. No
Yeah.
matter how fanboys we want to be, I forgot it is a business, and if I don't have to spend money to get the same information out to you, I'm not. I'm gonna
And
keep
I
my
think
money in
that's
my
what it
pocket.
is. I think at the expo, who hurting is the folks hosting the expo, not Sony, because Sony at one time, and again we opening it back up. At one time, E3
Sorry.
was the place to be. It was the place
Yeah.
for a gaming company to be. If you wasn't at E3, you wasn't relevant. But with social media and information getting to people literally in seconds of it hitting the web, E3 is I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of dodo information. It's dodo bird information. It's like I don't have to wait to E3 to get none of this. Like that's why it's so disappointing. We unheard about most of what they're gonna show months and months in advance. We unseen as much as we want to see. So what else can you show me on the stage that I didn't see in a leak or I didn't see in another interview that the developers held with this person and sat down and talked to this person and showcased there? That what you gonna show me at E3 unless you just saved it totally for E3 and then a leak ruins that. So social media has ruined E3. To be honest with you,
I think that right there is probably the biggest catalyst in all this thing. Social media has pretty much taken a huge chunk out of all these types of events because, like you said, you can't keep things quiet like you did back in the day. Back then they could release something or they could reveal something that nobody saw coming. Now you got too many people that are chirping literally on Twitter about the stuff that they saw or somebody that they talked to or whatever, and before it comes out, we've already know what they're gonna. It would be costing more money just to keep something quiet as it would be just to actually present it at the event.
right?
So, yeah,
Right.
that is a huge issue right there.
Okay.
But you know what? And I don't know if it's feasible, but E3 doesn't have a social media presence. That's their fault.
That's true too. E3 should
Like,
put everything they doing up for folks to watch.
it's there should be like a YouTube E3 channel, like where people go there to watch the trailers instead of going to just like wherever, the normal YouTubers. Like E3, excuse me, should have took over and said, "Yo, let's get a presence on here because this is the trend." Especially as soon as Nintendo pulled and started doing the Nintendo Directs, they should have reacted. But I guess
Yeah.
they was in the mindset that Nintendo is irrelevant. No, Nintendo was setting the trend. Nintendo was saving their money by not messing with you. You should have reacted. You didn't. And
Well, I
now
mean,
Sony.
go ahead.
I was gonna say now Sony's pulled, and you got to believe at one point Microsoft may pull that trigger too.
Well, I mean, I think that it's kind of like look at it from a convention standpoint. Like I'm an artist and I go to comic book conventions and I sit up my table at Artist Alley and I sell my artwork and things of that nature. It's not like for instance, let's just say C2E2. That's a comic book expo that's in Chicago. It would be cool if they were to televise everything that's going on within the convention hall, but that would stop people from wanting to actually come to the show. That's the reason why they actually black out events that are not sellouts for certain sports games or whatever, because they want you to go down there and buy a ticket. And if I don't have to buy a ticket, then I'm going to watch it on TV. So that's it kind of works against that. So I think that from E3 standpoint, if they were to just try to make it all so super convenient where I could just watch this whole thing on my phone, watch on the YouTube channel, watch it on TV, then people who are in the surrounding area wouldn't even want to go down there. They were just like, I'm just going to sit here in the crib and watch it. So I think that's kind of the reason why they don't do that.
And also, are we taking into account the fact that E3 didn't start out being what it became? Like, it wasn't what, like, you got PAX and all these events for what E3 is turning into. From my understanding, E3 used to be about companies and businesses coming in. It's a place for them to come and meet behind doors and see the common attractions, whether they want to invest in it or, you know what I'm saying, kind of get a heads up on where things going to see, you know, what they want to do. And it turned into more what PAX and all that is. And it's trying to find a space in a space that's already filled up. Because PAX is for us, the gamers, for us to come and play whatever these companies got, whereas E3 was for the companies and the people like IGN and all those folks to come and learn about what they got, so they could bring it to us and tell us what they have. Am I making any sense with that? I don't know the right way to say it, but
right, yeah, it's like that's what CES and Gamescom stuff like that is for about.
Okay. So I'm getting feedback from somebody. Okay, there it's gone. No, it's still there. Okay, it's gone now. So, yeah, so E3 to me, this year would tell us whether E3 is a past commodity or is it something that still can find a space of relevance now. But I don't think it's going to hurt Sony at all. The only thing that's being hurt is the people that's hosting E3. That's who is hurting. At the end of the day, they need Sony there to get the people there to make the money that they've been making off of it. These companies pulling out because probably they ain't making no money off of it. So anyway, let's look at this next topic. How important are exclusives? We can go several ways with this. The third topic is also going to play a role in this conversation, so we're going to put those two together. The reason I'm asking this question is you see what Microsoft is doing with trying to secure more in-house production by buying up these studios to have games that are exclusive to Microsoft. Yet, D2K just brought up that Microsoft also said for the first year, the Xbox Series X, they won't have any exclusives. So the question becomes, how important is exclusives for these platforms moving forward, especially Microsoft and Sony, since third party has pretty much been the dominant party on those platforms? We'll start with you, Keith, since you came in later. Go ahead.
Okay, I kind of missed some of that. I was trying to set myself up. So you said D2K probably should take over because I missed some of it.
Well, D2K brought up the fact that Microsoft said that they won't have, and I forgot about that Microsoft will not have any exclusives ready for the Xbox Series X for about the first year of its launch or for launch. I know it says for launch. The launch window will have no exclusives.
So, yeah.
So with that being said, the question is, how important are exclusives for the success of these new systems? Is it still the same, or do you see that kind of changing?
I'm gonna try to change my thought process on air. So, because we've been talking back and forth, and of course you want to say back in the day exclusives brought the console, the gamers to the console, to that said console. I think it's still important. I think it's still important that I know where I can go get a Zelda. I know where I can go get a Mario Kart. And on the flip side, I know where I can play Uncharted, The Last of Us, and things like that. Yeah. God of War. I know where I can go and get those games. But we're getting into that realm of people just want to play games, right? And then I think it was K-Bomb who sent you the thing yesterday about Call of Duty. Yeah. For the last past decade, it's been the top seller. Number one. Grand
Theft Auto 5 is number one, but all the other, except for one other, is all Call of Duty titles.
Right. So if you look at that, say Call of Duty, Fortnite, any other what's the game that Overwatch, you got all of these games that people want to play that's going to bring more people. So it's like once those games are everywhere, that's all people care about. And you look at what Microsoft is doing with is it Game Pass or is that somebody else? No, it's Game Pass. Yeah. They got the Game Pass basically saying, hey, you can play games wherever, however. And I think that is appealing to that casual audience who does not have that Legion allegiance to the Sony and Nintendo, because you got Nintendo fans that are gonna be like, yo, whatever Nintendo makes, I'm getting it. Sony, whatever Sony makes, I'm getting it. But then you got a whole gang of people who are like, yo, I just want to play a game and I want to play it at an affordable price. So that I think it's not necessarily a competition in saying, hey, uh, not having exclusives is better. This is just another island in the ocean that you can also choose to do. You know what I mean? So I think that's what Microsoft is trying to do. Of course, for us being the old heads, I call us that. We're like, yo, you got to have exclusives, man. I'm not gonna play your stuff if you don't got exclusives. But I think for Microsoft moving forward and how the industry is moving, it's like, give me more everywhere.
Okay.
Where we're like, give me what I want here, and I know why I'm getting it. You know what I mean? So that's what I think.
I want to tackle some of what K Bun was saying, but I'd rather him be here to have that conversation. So we can definitely bring that back up next time he's on, because it was a good conversation. But go ahead, D2K. What's your thoughts? How important are exclusives for these systems moving forward?
Well, I mean, I agree with what Keith said, and I can kind of expand upon that. Is that Microsoft has been kind of building an infrastructure for what it is that they're doing for the past 3 or 4 years. I think they understood that the Xbox was dead. The Xbox One was dead in the water pretty quickly, and they started. Okay,
that's
they started kind of setting the table for what they're going to do in the next generation. And
I'll be back. Go ahead.
Them building cloud, them building Xbox Game Pass, them making Xbox Live more robust, getting everything ready for xCloud, everything. I think that's what you just got through saying, Keith, is that Microsoft's attitude is that we want you to be able to play any game anywhere. And I think that if we go back to the beginning, the genesis of how Microsoft got into the gaming industry in the first place, all Bill Gates really wanted was video games to have the Windows presence.
Right.
That's all he wanted. All he cared about was having Windows being undercutting or the foundation of what you're doing in gaming. He just wanted to put Windows in the PlayStation brand because Sony was the top dog at the time. And they said no, so they said, okay, well, we'll show you, and that's how the Xbox was born. And I think that it took them a while to get back to the basics, but that's basically who they are. Microsoft is a services company.
Right.
More or less. They provide services. And their Azure cloud is running lots of major corporations right now. And I think that from their perspective...
I'll be right back, fellas. Go ahead, keep talking.
From their perspective, first-party titles are not that important because they're getting money elsewhere from you using Xbox Live, using the Game Pass, and then when Project xCloud gets into full swing, all this stuff is revenue for Microsoft. And then you have people getting on the PC, buying games from the Windows Store and whatnot. So at the end of the day, all it means is it's about making money. So them not having first-party titles in the launch window, I don't like that idea, but I can understand if that's the direction that they're going. If they're saying, well, all we care about is making sure that whenever people are gaming, they're playing on a Microsoft or Windows or Xbox platform. That's all we care about. If that's their sentiment, then I could say, okay, because, the first-party titles will come when they come. It's not like people aren't going to play Halo Infinite if it comes a year and a half after the launch. Of course they're going to play it. But my problem with the whole thing is that I don't have a problem with that strategy at all. My problem is, if that's your strategy, why do I need the Series X?
Right. And I think just taking the old way we would think about things, but I guess it's that idea of like a PC, like you got the Xbox One X, the Xbox One X, and you got the Series X. So the One X will be like a 2070, and I guess the Series X would be like a 2080. I don't know what the new graphics cards are now. So it's like you can take that same game and it's scalable, but
for I guess a console gamer would have to change the way they view that. For years, consoles have been the next upgrade, the next wave, the next thing. It's going to be the better thing, but yet I feel like I'm being held back by you still holding on to this game that can still run on the Xbox One that came out in 2013. And it's like, yo, you're not using the full assets that you could possibly use. That's the way I think about it. And I feel you. Like, what is that killer app that I'm going to be playing on? And if I don't have it, I don't need to spend the money. I can wait and see what you're going to do.
Right.
And
Right.
I can continue to wait. Apparently.
Right. Right. And if it's the people who want the elite, they want the cutting edge visuals and graphics and performance, then why would I invest in a console in the first place? Because you're not going to get that from a console, because a console is a static device.
Right.
It's something that you can't do much to upgrade the hardware. You can upgrade the firmware, you can come up with attachments and stuff like that, but it's a lot easier to go out in the store, just buy a new graphics card, buy some more memory, or get a more powerful CPU versus trying to do it through the console way. There's no console that will ever be more powerful than a PC that somebody wants to build if that's what they really care about. Right. So that's the reason why it doesn't make sense. If you're going to make the game scalable so they can play on every Xbox console that you have, then the people who want that higher end experience will just get a PC. Right. What am I messing with a Series X for? That's the part that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like I was saying, when it comes to consoles, there's a certain mindset that comes with it. I'm waiting 5 to 6 years for the next reveal, and I'm getting excited. It's that excitement about, the next console is coming. If I build a PC, it's like, I want a better PC. Next year, if I wanted to, I can go buy, like you said, I go buy a graphics card. Yep. The mind, I don't know. They're trying to blur the line of the mindset of the people who want to tinker and versus the people who want to look like they tinker.
So we're talking about the fact that these exclusives or Microsoft titles would be on all the devices, even the Xbox One. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. The games.
The games being, that even though they come out for the Xbox Series X, they'll also be available for the Xbox One. Yeah, that's another, I forgot about that. I guess I just wasn't thinking about Microsoft. But
we know what you're thinking about.
Yeah, I was more on, but still, you're right. That was another, I think, idiotic announcement. I don't know what y'all take. Well, I didn't hear all what you're saying, but from the little bit that I heard, that neither one of you guys kind of felt that was a wise announcement.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, I think that's silly. I think you want.
No, it's a wrap for the Titans. That's what I was talking
about. Did they intercept it?
No, they did fourth down turnover on downs.
Okay.
They don't got enough time.
Right.
How much time left?
Like a minute 20 something.
28 minute 28. So
they got no time.
Microsoft should. I don't think they should have announced that. I think it kills and I think y'all hit it well. It kills the anticipation and the hype for the new system. If I have the luxury of playing the games that's coming to that platform on the current platform, then I'm no longer pressured to get the newer thing, unless I just want, like you said, D2K, the bells and the whistles. But if you had that mindset, you probably own a PC. So not most, but a lot would probably own a PC, or at least you own the Xbox One X, which can still give you the 4K and all that. Maybe not as shiny, but definitely in the ballpark. So I don't know. I don't know what Microsoft is thinking about that. I don't know what they're thinking about the no exclusives at launch. I know it probably don't really hurt if third party got a killer app there. It probably won't hurt, but at the same time, did you still need to announce that? Could you just Nintendo give you nothing? You just figure it out as it goes. So I don't know. That's kind of silly to me.
It's kind of backwards when I think about it. Like when I was younger, I always wanted to be able to take my game to the next console. I'm talking about cartridges. You know what I mean? Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, N64. I've always wanted to take those games and take them to the next game, next system, and have those scale up.
Yeah.
It's backwards because Microsoft is saying, hey, get this new system and you can still play these old games, which is cool. We want that. We want to be able to carry over, but we want to move forward. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And
it
it's
shouldn't
like
go. It should that street should only go one way. That's what you're
it
saying.
should go one way, not back and forth. And it's like, yo, get the new console. You can still play all your old games, but we're moving forward. You know what I'm saying? All your old games come with you. That should be the
Right.
mindset. Every game that you have, it comes with you, but you need the new console to get the new games.
And I think that's what the gamers all they wanted was to be able to play the current stuff on the newer system. They wasn't asking to be able to play the newer stuff on the older system. And
That doesn't make sense.
I think Microsoft created a 2-lane highway where this was supposed to be a 1-lane highway. That, like you said, I want to be able to still play what I got on the PlayStation 3 on the PlayStation 4, which Sony didn't do that, but that's what you want. Like Nintendo, up until the Switch, you can play, I can still play the, I don't know about the Wii U. Could you play, yeah, you can play Wii games on the Wii U. You can play GameCube games on the Wii.
Yeah. And then Wii to the Wii U.
Yeah, you can play Wii on the Wii U. You can play GameCube on the Wii. Of course, you couldn't play cartridge on the Wii because it didn't have a cartridge. But that's what Nintendo was doing with giving you access to your current portfolio of games while enjoying the new stuff on the new hardware. Microsoft has just turned that understanding. I hear so much upstairs, Lord. Sony is turning that up. My kids up there and my wife going, so I'm going to have to get up there here soon. They done turned that upside on his head and be like, "No, bro, you can play all the games where you at. Don't upgrade it out." Now it is kind of stupid, man. That is kind of stupid. It ain't kind of stupid. That is stupid.
Yeah, it's very stupid.
It's kind of productive.
I remember my friend's brother had y'all can talk about it. I'm finna give you something that you could talk about and say, Keith, that's retarded. But his brother had a Saturn. And, the Saturn had those huge cartridges. Uh-huh. We thought that you could stick a Genesis cartridge in the back where the memory card was supposed to be. I was like, dude. I was like, we tried to put Sonic in there. It wouldn't fit. And I was like, man, it ain't working. I was thinking like Sonic is going to be 3D. But that's the mindset I had. Like, yo, I want to take my old games and put them on the new system and keep moving forward. Not I want to take my new system and, or take my old system and still play the new games. Like, no, I don't do that. I want to move forward.
Welcome to the show, Trigger Man. I see you in there. I don't know. I mean, Sony must know what they're trying to do. I don't typically see that as beneficial for them. I think it's hurting them because you give the people the luxury to stay put. And if a parent is a little bit hip, like me, my son got the Xbox One, right? I would be tempted to buy him an Xbox Series X because I would know he would want to continue to play the games that's going to be coming there that won't be coming to the Xbox One. But now I'm like, I could just buy me the Xbox Series X and he stay with his Xbox because anything I buy, he can play. So instead of having to buy two, you only got to buy one. So
I guess that's the mindset, but in the grand scheme of things, that helps you. That helps you, but it hurts him because you really don't have to get the Series X.
Right. Right. You're right. So anything? Yeah, we got this last topic with Call of Duty, but that's a conversation I got to have with K-Bomb here. I can't even go there because he was the one that I was arguing with. So. K-Bomb, man, you're wrong for not showing up and using your voice. You scared of me, man. You don't have this conversation live on air. I'm messing with you, bro.
Well, if we got a little time, we could talk about like exclusives when it comes to like Nintendo, like whatever we was talking about in the chat, or y'all were talking about rather in the chat last night.
Yeah, well, it hinged on Call of Duty's dominance, and I give y'all an insight of what we was talking about. K-Bomb was saying that Nintendo should have did a better job of trying to get Call of Duty on the Switch, which I don't disagree with that. I agree with that. But I was saying that it's not Nintendo, unlike Sony and Microsoft, doesn't need Call of Duty. I believe Sony and Microsoft actually need Call of Duty. Now,
and I interjected that I
D2K said he did. Go ahead, D2. You here to speak for yourself.
And I interjected that I felt that Microsoft needs Call of Duty. That Sony didn't really need Call of Duty. It's just something that was nice for them to have in addition to all the other stuff they had going on, because they have a strong first party to back up everything. I mean, Uncharted, Spider-Man, God of War 4, Horizon Zero Dawn, it's a couple other games, all sold 10 million copies apiece on the PlayStation 4. So they're not hurting the first party market at all. And there's other franchises that they haven't touched yet that they could, but they're probably going to save that for PlayStation 5. So I think that for them, if Call of Duty wasn't there, yeah, it would be mostly absent, but I don't think it would hurt them. It would just be like, well, that's extra money that we don't have to play with. But Microsoft, you don't have much anything else, so you really need that third-party presence on your, because if you don't have anything else. But Nintendo, their strength is their first party. So again, it's like sugar on top of the, sugar on top. Yeah. I mean, we got Call of Duty. It'd be even better for us if we had that, but we don't have it. Well, okay, we still got Zelda, we still got Pokemon. Well, yeah, but we still got other games that didn't turn out bad on the Switch. So they'll be all right.
And then I interjected.
Go ahead.
And I said the Wii U had Nintendo games and Call of Duty, and it did not help.
Right.
The Wii U still failed. So what gives there? What do we take from that?
Right. And it went so many different ways. That's why I was like, I'm going to table that discussion for when K-Bum is here. Because K-Bum made some relevant points. I think in the conversation, when you texting back and forth, you're trying to get out what you're thinking. And by the time you get out what you're thinking, 2 or 3 more texts came in. And sometimes what you said has been missed. And then after a while, you ain't even having the same conversation, or you're just having a conversation with yourself. He put a wall up and said, and put me as the wall and him talking to a wall. I'm like, dude, you dirty. But anyway, the point I was making was, at the end of the day, Nintendo is one out of the 3, in my opinion. And I think Sony has slowly moved into a similar position. I don't think this was always the case with Sony. At one time, Sony would have needed Call of Duty no different than Microsoft. But I would agree. At this present time, it would be less of a hit for Sony than it would for Microsoft, for the very thing that D2K said. Microsoft literally has no presence when it comes to first party. They have them. They got Gears of War. They have Halo. But for the most part, they only got like 4 or 5 titles that are money generators. And even that's a question, because right now we see with Sony and Microsoft, a lot of their first party exclusives. That's another point that I asked the question, how important are exclusives? That we're starting to see these games go to stream and PC. Now the thought is they're not being bought at the capacity to make up the money that it took to develop the game. So you got a game like Horizon Zero Dawn that probably had a production budget that probably eclipsed probably 100 million. I'm pretty sure, with the type of teams and the type of talent that they got on those type of titles, and an amount of time that went in to those games, and they only move 9-10 million units, and maybe those units being moved at a price of $20. Sony ain't making any money. Like, I'm looking at Gears of War 5 right now. Gears of War 5 is already $24.99. And you can bet that most folks bought Gears of War 5 in the holiday at the discounted price. And I was tempted to get it because I was like, man, it's only $24. That ain't helping Sony. I mean, that's not helping Microsoft. That's hurting them, because what it says is we ain't making what we need, and we need to get these games in the hands of people. So, or it could be the other way, that Sony, since Microsoft had it already, I don't know if Gears of War 5 was available on PC or not. Was it? I think it was. You could play it on PC. So they might have made that money. And that's probably why they put it on PC, to secure that they get that money that they wouldn't otherwise get, leaving it exclusively on the Xbox device. And I think Sony is like, look, we make our money on Horizon Zero Dawn. Yes, we got a lot of popularity. It was number one and it run rewards, but sales-wise, we didn't get the money we spent in developing it, so we got to put this game on stream or on PC and make it available for those audiences because we didn't make the money on the PlayStation 4.
Well, maybe it's not. I mean, that could be true. That could be true. I mean, we don't know, but it could be true. But it also could be that Sony is looking at Microsoft and saying, well, if they can get some extra change putting it on the PC, why can't we too? It may not be that they didn't get enough money for Horizon Zero Dawn. It's like, well, if there's money out there to get, let's go get it.
But I think the counterpoint to that is now, and I'm not making this. Don't get me wrong. I'm not making it. I'm just bringing up some of the stuff I heard, rhetoric going back and forth with people on both sides of the coin. That if that's the case, like if I'm a guy like, okay, I listen. Me and Keith know what I'm talking about. Paris them on Gamer Tag Radio. Paris said he was not going to buy Xbox One X or Xbox One because Microsoft made all the games, all the exclusive content for the Xbox One available on the PC. So if I own a PC, the incentive for me to buy the Xbox One was taken away once you made the games available to me on my PC. Well, that same thing could be said of Sony. Like, you and I ain't saying they, it could be what D2K saying, we have made our money, so hey, let's make some more money. But it could easily also be we didn't make our money and we got to make this title available elsewhere. But in the process, you might keep somebody from buying a PlayStation 4 who might have bought the PlayStation 4 to play. Well, they wouldn't buy to play no Horizon Zero Dawn. So they're kind of trying to make the point. I kind of answer my own point.
Well, I mean, and I think that's the reason why they chose that particular game, because it's not something that's going to cost you anything. It's not like they put God of War or Uncharted. It's not one of their big heavyweight titles. They want Horizon Zero Dawn to become that, but this is the first iteration of that game. So if it doesn't work out, okay, we didn't, no harm, no foul. It wasn't one of our mainstays. It's not like if Nintendo were to put the next Zelda on the PC or something like that. No, they would never do that. But Nintendo would put their little pinky toe in the water and give a franchise that they don't have a whole lot of. If it goes wrong, it's not going to hurt them. So I think that's why Sony chose that particular title versus something, more consequential, I would say.
And it's interesting. It's interesting to look at it, the dynamic, because it's like I said, a lot of folks. I heard Dr. Trey's take. I posted that one. Also, speaking of Hard 8, I heard his take. Keith, you gave a good take on that. I'm joking. He thought this was Hard 8. But Hard 8, basically, I believe Hard 8 just stole what D2K, what Dr. Trey said. Honestly, I really do.
What it do, bruh?
It followed everything Dr. Trey said on his video, like almost verbatim. So, I don't know. I mean, as long as the company is making money, I think we as fans got to stop trying to make these companies fit into our fandom. Like, bruh, they're about making money. At the end of the day, what makes money makes sense. And if it's going to make me some money, I don't care how you feel about the plastic you bought. If Sony want to make some extra money and there's an opportunity, they going to do that. Like, when Microsoft put their games on the Nintendo platform, Cuphead and all that, you had Microsoft fans that was salty that game was coming to Nintendo, but I bet you Microsoft wasn't salty. I bet you Microsoft like, look, get that paper. You know what I'm saying? Buy Cuphead. Buy Nintendo fans. We need you to buy this game. So I think they started to realize, hey, bro, there's other streams and ways to make money than competing at the level that our fans want to compete. We can make money and open this up. We can have it on our platform and choose and pick, like D2K said, certain titles to put that we know. Everybody knew Cuphead would appeal to a Nintendo fan base. Everybody, when we saw Cuphead, said, man, this should go to Nintendo. Why? Because of the aesthetics of the game. It fits that fan base. And Microsoft saw that too. It's like, look, man, I know we got this exclusive, but this really will appeal over there, and it'll probably make more money going over there. Still coming to Microsoft. At the end of the day, Microsoft is getting paid for that game, not Nintendo. So I think they starting to rethink all that stuff. Even Nintendo with mobile gaming. They said they'd never put their games on the phone. I know y'all remember Iwata saying they'd never put a game on a mobile device. Well, look at them now. Not only that they put a game on there, they'll put Mario on there, they'll put Pokemon on there. Well, Pokemon ain't necessarily fully Nintendo's, but it's on there. What else? Fire Emblem on there. Mario Kart on there. Nintendo.
Did you say Animal Crossing?
Animal Crossing is on there. I forgot about that. Yeah, Animal Crossing. Some aspect of Animal Crossing is on there. So Nintendo saw, hey, man, there's another stream of revenue. Forget what our fan base saying and all these loyalists talking about. We finna make this money. It
Man,
ain't got nothing to do with them.
That remind me of it's on YouTube when Martin and Will were doing their press junket or whatever, and it was on the LeBron James thing, and I think they was like, Will, or have y'all ever regretted doing a movie? And Will was like, yeah, I think he said Wild Wild West. He chose Wild Wild West over Matrix, and Martin was like, nope. And he started faking like he was counting money because he's like, I got paid. I don't care. That's how they feel. Like, I don't care what you're talking about. I know you want to be loyal and rah Nintendo, Sony. We got paid.
Right.
Put these games on these mobile platforms, and we're gonna count this money. So
right. So I think and D2K, I think D2K hit it out the park when he said, no, they're not gonna put a Zelda or a Mario on another company's platform, but they put these lesser associated titles like Horizon Zero Dawn while being an exclusive to the PlayStation. It's not Kratos. It's not it's not Nathan Drake. They still keep those you know what I'm saying, big titles exclusive to that, but some of them titles that's exclusive that don't have a big presence on their system or hasn't worked its way into being a big deal on their system, they can put elsewhere and make more money. It's still Sony's IP. It's still Sony's property. So while it's available to a group outside of Sony, it's still Sony property. While it's available to Nintendo with Microsoft, it's still Microsoft's. Minecraft is still Microsoft's. Ori is still Microsoft's. Cuphead is still Microsoft's. So at the end of the day, Microsoft making money on PC, making money on Nintendo, and making money on their own devices. And maybe Microsoft got to do it because right now, what else can they really do? Until they get their first party worked up to a place to where, you know, like Halo. I doubt we'll ever see a Halo. I know there was rumor that Halo was going to come to the Switch. I never believed that. But I doubt we'd never ever see that happen. Maybe only on PC. But hey, I mean, I ain't gonna write it out as a possibility for none of these companies. I think they starting to see, look, we just need to make money. I don't care where it's at. Just get the dollars. So, anything else?
Getting worried about this game, man.
Yeah.
Nobody's giving the Packers a chance in this, and I'm like, stop it, stop doing that.
Giving the Packers a chance.
All the national media is like, oh, 49ers is gonna kill the Packers. I'm like, stop that.
Don't give Aaron Rodgers. You give Aaron Rodgers that opportunity that he show up for them type of stages. So they've been playing good. I don't know about all that, and I don't know about the defense. I know they got Richard Sherman, but I don't know about the 49ers defense.
Oh, no. 49ers defense is legit.
It is?
They got like
questionable.
Their entire defensive front is all first round draft picks.
Okay. So they got a formidable defense. I thought that was their weak point. They got the defense.
No, the only weak point that they really have is their quarterback.
Okay.
I don't trust him.
I thought Garoppolo. Is it Garoppolo?
Garoppolo, yeah.
Garoppolo, okay.
He's good, but he likes to throw interceptions.
Okay.
And the defense is getting good enough all year long to neutralize that by getting them the ball back. I don't like it. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. It's like I don't know. I just got a bad feeling about this.
Man, I wish I got into football like that when most of the guys was getting into it. I understand the sport. I can watch it. I understand what's going on. I just never grew up like a loyalty to it and never really just got into it like that.
Okay.
And I'm kind of fading from basketball a little bit.
No, don't do that, Keith. Don't do that cause my boy on your team now, man. Don't be doing us like that, man. Look at that record, Keith. Look at the record. That boy beat Houston last night by, you know what? It's 5:30. I gotta go. Keith done just messed up the cash. Hating on this. He a Lakers fan, but because LeBron is there, he can't root for him no more. Boy, I tell you,
man, it's
truth.
weird. It's like oil and water, man. It's weird. Yeah, they winning.
I'm rooting for them, but I can't stand the Lakers. But I don't want them to lose at all. But anyway, man, I do got to get out of here, fellas. I got to go up here and get dressed. But, man, I wish K-Bun would have been here, man. We would have had it out. But good, we get him on next time. Any final thoughts before we go?
Did you get your thoughts on Joker? Probably do that next time, but I think
we do that next time. It was good, though. I'll get my full thoughts on the next time. Cool. And I'll get my thoughts on Bad Boys Forever
me too.
Next time, too. With that being said, with that being said, man, we in the new year. Sorry for how we started. I tried to hold it down for us, but we got here. So we in here, we doing it, and we have some more for you next week. Till then, everyone, deuces.